A Fox News reporter was injured while reporting in Ukraine today. Fox News Channel says Benjamin Hall is in the hospital right now. They did not give any update on the extent of his injuries or how they happened. Hall's a longtime war correspondent who's covered fighting in Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, and other countries too. This news all comes after a journalist with ties to North Texas was killed while covering the fighting. Fox 4's Sean Rabb live in Dallas tonight with more on this story. Sean.
Yeah, Stephen, this is believed to be the first American killed during this Russian-Ukrainian conflict. Talking about Brent Renaud, who graduated in 1994 from Southern Methodist University. We learned who he is today through a 30-year friend, a young lady who became best friends during those college years here at SMU.
I'm still in disbelief and still in shock.
Tear Suzuki processing through her pain the death of her dear friend, award-winning journalist and filmmaker Brent Renaud, killed Sunday covering the Russia-Ukraine war. He and a colleague fired upon in the city of Irpin. Juan Arredondo speaking from his hospital bed.
We crossed a checkpoint and they start shooting at us. So the driver turned around and they kept shooting. It's two of us. My friend is Brent Renaud, and he's been shot and left behind.
He cared about making a difference. He cared about contributing to society.
Friends since college, Suzuki, Renaud, and others shared a Habitat for Humanity home built by SMU for students to share an inner-city community experience.
You know, he had the world on his shoulders, it seemed like, already at that point.
Renaud back at his SMU last November when the University of Central Florida played the Mustangs. He was director cinematographer on an ESPN series about the Florida University.
And that was the last time that we were able to have dinner together.
Were you surprised that he would be in such an intense place?
Well, I am not surprised that he went to the Ukraine because I knew that this was the type of work that he was passionate about in terms of telling the world stories about the impact of war on people.
Brent Renaud used the power of his lens to bring into focus the global refugee crisis, covering wars in places like Iraq and Afghanistan.
What I was shocked by was to learn on Sunday morning that he would not be coming back, and I would not have an opportunity to hear from him again.
Renaud in the Eastern European War Theater, documenting that global refugee crisis.
I lost a great friend and his family. I think about his family and I ache for them. And I think the world has lost a human being who have done so much to help us see what's happening around the world.
So the State Department did not speak specifically about Renaud's death, but did condemn all acts of violence against journalists and others documenting the conflict. As well today, the Committee for the Protection of Journalists putting out a statement calling for Russia to halt all violence against journalists and civilians.